Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into a seriously mind-bending cosmological framework pulled directly from a translated lecture on the teachings of Daisen Jinri. We are going to explore the absolute composition of the soul, a scale of time so massive it's almost hard to wrap your head around, and a concept that attempts to answer the biggest questions about who we are and exactly where this universe is heading.
So let's hook right into this by asking a deeply personal question about your own nature. According to this framework, how many souls do you actually have? You might instinctively think, well, just one, right? I mean, that's what most of us have always been taught. But in this cosmology, the answer is a bit more complex, and it literally defines our entire place in the universe.
All right, Section 1. The Blueprint of Life, the Three Souls.
To really understand this massive cosmic picture, we actually have to zoom way in. We need to start at the micro level and look at how different forms of life possess a totally different number of souls. First up, think about plants. Plants possess just one single soul, called the life soul. Think of a sunflower physically turning its face toward the sunlight, or tree roots pushing through solid dirt just to find water. This is purely that biological drive to survive, to absorb nutrients, and to grow. Step 2 brings us to animals. Now, animals possess that foundational life soul to keep them alive, sure, but they add a second layer, the sentient soul. This is the spark that allows a deer to feel fear when it hears a twig snap, or a dog to feel absolute joy when you walk through the front door. It allows for movement, emotion, and sensory experience. But Step 3? Step 3 is where it gets really fascinating. Humans are completely unique in this framework because we possess those first two souls plus a third completely distinct soul.
This third soul is exactly where humanity diverges from the rest of nature. It's called the spirit soul, or Yonghan, and there's a huge fundamental distinction here regarding mortality. The teachings explain that those first two souls, the life and sentient souls, well, they eventually just fade back into the earth and the universe's primal energy when a physical body dies. They're temporary. But the spirit soul, it is eternal. It's an immortal essence. This is the very thing that allows human beings to possess complex, abstract thought. It's the reason we can compose symphonies, map the stars, and actually ponder our own existence. And crucially, because it's eternal, it is what allows human beings to reincarnate over and over again. It carries our experiences across lifetimes, allowing us to slowly but surely reach higher and higher levels of understanding.
Moving right along to Section 2, The Power of Three, the Principle of Completion.
Okay, so we've established we have three souls. But why three? Let's see how this builds into something much larger. Think about your television screen, or maybe the ink in your printer. If you only have two colors, say red and blue, your system is incredibly limited, right? You can really only make variations of purple. It's a binary locked system. But the exact moment you introduce that third primary color, green, everything changes. You suddenly unlock infinite, perfect possibilities. You get full spectrum color. You achieve absolute completion. Basically, 2 represents a conflict or a limitation, but 3 brings total resolution.
This rule of 3 for completion is a mathematical and philosophical key that is applied everywhere in this teaching. You see it in RGB colors, you even see it in the fundamental balance of something as simple as rock, paper, scissors. But most importantly, it's applied to the cosmos itself. The framework introduces the concept of the 3 powers: heaven, earth, and humanity. Just as you need 3 colors to make a complete image, a binary universe of just heaven and earth is like a dull 2-color image. It totally lacks purpose. You, humanity, act as that vital third power. Without us, the cosmos is literally incomplete. We aren't just, living inside the universe, we are structurally necessary to finish it.
Which brings us to Section 3, the cosmic calendar, a year of 129,600 years.
129,600. Just let that number sink in for a second. According to this framework, a single cosmic year spans a staggering 129,600 Earth years. This massive number isn't just pulled out of thin air. It's mathematically derived from the concept of a 360-day cycle multiplied by 360. This is the grand, overarching timeline in which the entire universe operates. It is the scale on which our immortal souls are actually living and learning.
Now, just like a regular Earth year, this gargantuan 129,600-year timeline is divided into 4 cosmic seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Each cosmic season lasts roughly 30,000 years. Now, this isn't just about weather changing on a cosmic scale. This massive cycle is essentially a grand educational program for the soul. Because, let's be real,
You can't learn the deepest secrets of the universe or reach spiritual perfection in one short 80-year human lifetime. So your immortal spirit soul goes to school across time. It's constantly reincarnating, attending this cosmic university across these massive 30,000-year epochs, slowly evolving human consciousness from total naive innocence all the way to absolute completion.
To really grasp the sheer scale of this, the teachings quote the ancient philosopher Laozi, who captured our limitation perfectly. He said, "It's a summer insect, so it doesn't know winter." Think about it. We are literally those insects. A human living a long, full 80 or 100-year life still struggles immensely to comprehend a vast 129,600-year cycle. We are like literal mayflies trying to understand the concept of a blizzard when we were born in mid-July. Our perspective is completely bound by the tiny sliver of time we actually get to experience.
So let's trace our evolution through the first two of these epochs to see how this schooling actually works. In Cosmic Spring, we experienced an era of total naive innocence and harmony. People were inherently good, living simply, guided by early sages. But as we transition into Cosmic Summer, things really heat up. Summer is an era of intense division, conflict, and immense growth. Think of it kind of like humanity's adolescence. It's messy, it's painful, but it's exactly where you learn the absolutely crucial difference between right and wrong, life and death, good and evil. And because of this necessary conflict, Cosmic Summer is the age where major religions and great spiritual teachers, like Buddha and Jesus, emerged. We needed them to guide a divided, struggling humanity through this really difficult season of growth.
And there's a really beautiful visual metaphor used here. The great religions and teachings of the cosmic summer are compared to blooming lotus flowers. They're stunning, they offer salvation and guidance, and they are absolutely necessary for the heat of the summer season. But, just as in nature, the flowers of summer must eventually, inevitably, wither and fall away. They have to drop their petals so that the ultimate harvest, the actual fruit of autumn, can form. The teachings suggest that the era of relying entirely on traditional religions is slowly fading, not because they were wrong, but because the season itself is changing.
And that takes us right into Section 4, the Age of Injan, the exaltation of humanity.
All right, we've finally arrived at the climax of this entire cosmological timeline, the concept of Injan, the honoring or the exaltation of humanity. For thousands of years, during the spring and summer of the cosmos, humans have looked up. We've prayed to the heavens, viewing ourselves as these small, flawed, subservient beings just hoping for mercy or guidance. But Injan flips the script completely. It dictates that as we enter cosmic autumn, humanity steps up. We are no longer subservient to the heavens. Instead, we become equal partners. We finally realize our potential and become the final, essential piece of the universal puzzle.
This completely shifts our cosmic paradigm on its head. Imagine heaven and earth as parents who have spent over 100,000 years, through the long spring and summer, desperately trying to raise, educate, and elevate humanity. Why would they do that? Because a parent's ultimate success is seeing their child grow up, mature, and finally stand beside them as an absolute equal. If humanity doesn't ripen into the completed fruit of the cosmos, heaven and earth fail their mission entirely. Our destiny, the entire reason we possess that eternal third soul, is to become equal in rank with the cosmos itself.
But, nature is unflinching. Just like a real autumn harvest out in the fields, not everything survives the changing of the seasons. There is a stern culling, a harsh autumn frost. As the cosmic season shifts, the teachings impartially outline that humans will fall into one of two categories. They'll either become the fruit, those who fulfill their cosmic duty, realize their equal rank with heaven and earth, and ripen into completion. Or they will become the fallen leaves, those who fail to adapt, who just don't learn the lessons of the summer and are simply withered away by the cosmic frost.
And that brings us to the end of our exploration into this truly vast cosmological framework. We've traced the journey from the three souls within us way out to a cosmic calendar spanning over 100,000 years, arriving at the incredible exaltation of humanity in a cosmic autumn. As you wrap up this explainer, we're all left to ponder our own place in this grand turning wheel of time. The ultimate question we're left with is this: within this massive 129,600-year cycle, as the cosmic seasons change, will you ripen into the fruit of the universe, or will you wither like the fallen leaves of autumn? Thank you so much for exploring this with us, and keep learning.